Zangief Staying Fierce is now 0 on block if you connect at close range, up from -3. Similarly, the charged version is +3 on block instead of +1. For both charged and uncharged, they're wider in recovery, so they're easier to whiff punish. The charged version is probably going to get a lot worse now you can V-shift it on reaction. If they do, it's around -12, depending on when exactly they shift. It used to be possible to make this move 1 frame faster by buffering the input as a reversal so you could hold it for 0 frames. But it seems like they patched that. Once upon a time you had to do this to pick up certain crush counter punishes. But I think they're all more unsafe now than they used to be. Crouch Fierce sends the opponent much higher as an anti-air. This allows you more time to walk in after anti-airing them, basically giving you better Okizeme. You can now cancel Lariat into either trigger on hit or block, provided the Lariat hits on its first active frame. This is mostly for VT2, where you can use the launch to combo an EX air throw for a huge ender. In fact, I don't think there's another juggle besides that one. This is a fairly cheap and super rewarding ender for Zangief's confirms. On block, Lariat into VT2 is +18 point blank. Absolutely terrifying considering Zangief's grabs are so deadly. It's also possible to cancel Lariat into VT1, but you lose a ton of hits. And it seems you should never do the full version of VT1. It does barely more damage than the partial, but you have no juggle potential left over. However, Lariat into VT1 activate with no hold is a safe activate, and it does leave you point blank. If you're already in trigger, Lariat into VT1 on hit doesn't work at all. Either in or out of trigger, VT1 can make Lariat safe on block, I guess. VT2 Air SPD is now a hit rather than a throw. This gives you some new juggles into it. Zangief takes 6 frames longer to recover afterward. It seems formerly he was +2 after forward dash, but now he's -4. This is already so rewarding to land. I guess Zangief getting a mix-up afterward is too much, especially with the new combos. This also applies to the EX version. You can still get a little Okizeme from both versions by walking forward, but not enough to get a regular throw meaty, so you've got to risk SPD for your mix-up. On my first pass with this video, I somehow failed to mention his VT1 changes. The suction has gotten better, and applies to airborne opponents, along with an increase in juggle potential. Before, you could often juggle into VT1, but the final hit would sometimes just whiff, depending on the opponent's height mid-air, which meant you got no juggle afterward. Now it seems to be consistent. Zangief players rarely picked VT2, since VT1 fixes so many bad matchups. I think these buffs to VT2 make it a lot more viable in Zangief's other matchups. Zangief's reversal options are notably bad, so the addition of V-Shift helps him defensively a ton. Unfortunately, it also helps out his opponents who have a new answer to his mix-up. I'd say by the changes themselves, Zangief is maybe better overall, but we'll have to wait and see for whether the system mechanics help or hurt him.